I got broads in Atlanta. Just took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers.
I want to welcome you back to Black Site, and I want to talk to you about the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev, in which Canelo Alvarez knocked out Sergey Kovalev with one of the most brutal knockouts I have seen in the last few years. This was a strategic fight. Kovalev used his jab the whole fight, used his ring generalship, his jab, his boxing skills. Kovalev was patient, used power punchings, and he stuck to his game plan, which was throwing body shots. And I believe in the 10th and going into 11th round, those body shots finally got to Crusher Kovalev. This was a truly strategic fight that was fought by both of the corners, Eddie Renaso and Buddy McGirt. Renaso kept telling Canelo that we will finally get to him. And believe it or not, the greatest fighter in the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez, knocked him out with a nice left hook, then finished it off with a brutal right hand. Canelo Alvarez, by far, is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Don't tell me about Lomachenko. Don't tell me about Crawford. Don't tell me about Earl Spence. Don't tell me about anybody. Even though he has a loss, he has proven over his careers with 52 wins that he is by far the best fighter in the world. And I want to also tell you this. One thing I love about Saul Canelo Alvarez, he lost that fight to Floyd Mayweather. He went to school, and he got school, but he went there and he took notes, and he came back out of that fight a better fighter. That loss made him a better fighter and the fighter that you seek today. Saul Canelo Alvarez is one of the few fighters in this world who can fight many different styles to win a fight. Tonight, he was more or less like a slugger, a patient slugger, not a slugger who went in there just throwing punches wildly. He was strategic in throwing his punches against Sergey Kovalev. He went strong to the body. Whenever Crusher threw a right hand, he came back with a left hook, but they were meaningful shots. He didn't throw a lot of punches, but they were strategic punches. And when it got to the 11th round, where he knew using those body shots and those hooks finally slowed Crusher down to the point to where he couldn't take it no more. And when he hit him with that beautiful hook, then came back with that right hand and crushed him. And the knockout was brutal. The way Crusher was holding on to those ropes, it seemed like he was holding on for his life. That's how brutal that knockout is. This guy, Canelo Alvarez, should be given the credit that he deserves. He's going to be an all-time great fighter. He has 3 belts in 3 different weight divisions: middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. We haven't seen that since Henry Armstrong, even though at the time there were only 8 or 9 divisions. But this by itself is historical when it comes to boxing. This shows you that Canelo Alvarez is willing to fight any fighter out there who's willing to fight him at the right place in the right situation for him to win a title, or for him to succeed as being probably the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. I know that's heresy to say with Julio Cesar Chavez, but he's reaching that point at the age of 29. We have to understand that Canelo Alvarez is still in his prime. He will still have 3 or 4 more years where he can dictate boxing, since he is the most powerful person in boxing, to pick and choose what fighters he want to fight at what time. And he picked tonight to be Sergey Kovalev and destroy him. So from all the way from middleweight to light heavyweight. He can pick any super fight that he wants because of his position in boxing, because of the contract he has with the zone, and right now standing as the pound for pound fighter in the world and going down as one of the greatest of all times. This was an excellent fight to see, because you love to see this type of boxing, because it shows you the strategic parts of boxing. Boxing is just not slugging, but it shows you how the corners work the fights, how well Bertie McGirt got Sergey Kovalev to be disciplined. He tried to get it for 12 rounds, but we know that Sergey Kovalev has a problem with stamina, and that's what hurt him. He knows he has a problem with body shots. So McGirt tried to get him to the finish line. I don't think any other trainer could have done as well as McGirt did with Krushing Kovalev during this fight. He almost got him to the end of the fight for a decision. But we saw how Eddie Reynoso worked Canelo's corner, and he worked it so good. He said, patience, we're going to get him. We're going to get him. And they got him. And that's what makes a great fighter. When you have a great cornerman like Eddie Reynoso, and you have a great fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Tonight was a crowning achievement for both of them. To have these 3 titles at one time, we should give them the credit that they deserve, and that Canelo Alvarez should be put on the mountaintop right now. I just think this guy is a wonderful fighter. I just love to watch him fight. I love the way his strategic ability, the way he thinks in the ring, how he has that ring generalship, all the qualities that makes an all-time great. There are great fighters in boxing, but there are levels to boxing, and Canelo Alvarez, fight by fight, is moving up those levels. He might be on the top level when his career is said and done. We talking about with the all-time greats. He could be a top 10 fighter when it's all said and done, if he keeps this going, and if he keeps winning titles and beating some of the best fighters in the world. If he beats a Charlo, Demetrius Andre, Caleb Plant, other fighters who are out there, if this keeps going on, it's going to play hard to take him out of that top 10 position because of the length of his career, the wins he have won, the belts he have won, because this young man started at 15 years old. He may go to he's 35 or 34 years old. That's your 20-year career with all these wins and all these titles. You have to give Canelo Alvarez the credit that he truly deserves when it comes to boxing. This is a great achievement for him. This is a great achievement for boxing, and that we all love to watch Canelo Alvarez fight. I want to thank you for listening to Black Side. Hope you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and share this video.